Mr. President, I truly believe that with all the challenges that we have in the Middle East, that I finally see somebody that can take us across the finish line to bring stability, peace, and prosperity to all of us in the region. And it is, I think, our collective responsibility in the Middle East to continue to work with you, to support you, to achieve those lofty goals. So I'm very delighted to be here, and as you said, sir, we've got some very interesting discussions ahead of us.
Very good.
We have to keep in mind that there is a plan from Egypt and the Arab countries. We're being invited by Mohammed bin Salman to discussions in Riyadh. I think the point is how do we make this work in a way that is good for everybody? Right. And obviously, we have to look at the best interests of the United States, of the people in the region, especially to my people of Jordan. And we're going to have some interesting discussions today. I think one of the things that we can do right away is take 2,000 children that are either cancer children or in a very ill state to Jordan as quickly as possible, and then wait for, I think, the Egyptians to present their plan on how we can work with the president to work on the Gaza challenges.
I didn't know that, what you just said, 2,000 children with cancer or other problems, and that's really a beautiful gesture. That's really good, and we appreciate it. And we'll be working on the rest with Egypt. I think you're going to see some great progress. I think with Jordan, you're going to see some great progress. 3 of us, and we'll have some others helping, and we're going to have some others at a very high level helping, and the whole thing will come. It's not a complex thing to do. And with the United States being in control of that piece of land, a fairly large piece of land, you're going to have stability in the Middle East for the first time. And the Palestinians, or the people that live now in Gaza, will be living beautifully in another location. They're going to be living safely. They're not going to be killed, murdered, and having to leave every 10 years, because I've been watching this for so many years. It's nothing but trouble. We're going to have Gaza. We don't have to buy. There's nothing to buy. We will have Gaza.
What does that mean?
No reason to buy. There is nothing to buy. It's Gaza. It's a war-torn area. We're going to take it. We're going to hold it. We're going to cherish it.
And Mr. President, take it under what authority? It is sovereign territory.
Under the U.S. authority.
And Mr. President, would you seek to personally develop property in Gaza after this happens?
No. I've had a great career in real estate.
Mr. President,
you know, when you've done what I've done in the last number of years, including the 4 years that we should have been doing something else, frankly, because people see that now for sure. But when you've done what I've done, you can just do more good for people.
US President Donald Trump's plan to resettle Palestinians from Gaza in Jordan is a recipe for radicalism. That's the stark warning Jordan's King Abdullah plans to deliver when he meets Trump in Washington on February 11th, according to 3 senior Jordanian officials. Relocating the Palestinians will spread chaos through the Middle East, he'll warn, threatening Jordan's peace treaty with Israel and even the kingdom's existence. Trump's plan sparked protests in the Jordanian capital Amman on Friday. Abdullah said this week he rejected any attempts to annex land and displace Palestinians. One source said he'd made a flurry of calls to regional heavyweights Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, and Qatar to muster support. Jordan absorbed more Palestinians than any other state after Israel's creation in 1948. By some estimates, they make up more than half of its population of 11 million. Trump announced a plan on Monday for the United States to take over Gaza after resettling the Palestinians in neighbouring countries. A White House briefing on Monday modified that idea, saying instead that Palestinians would be temporarily relocated for the rebuilding process. Trump's plan evokes Jordan's nightmare of being turned into an alternative home for the Palestinians, a vision long promoted by right-wing Israelis. Amman fears it would pave the way for the expulsion of 3 million Palestinians from the neighbouring Israeli-occupied West Bank, where violence has surged. Jordan has been a close Western ally since independence from Britain in 1946 and hosts US forces. It signed a peace treaty with Israel in 1994. According to Marwan Muasher, a former foreign minister who helped negotiate that deal, the main justification for doing so was to prevent a Palestinian state being set up in Jordan. Even Jordan's establishment is now questioning that reasoning, he said. The officials said Jordan is preparing for worst-case scenarios, drawing up plans including declaring a state of war with Israel, abrogating the peace treaty and declaring a state of emergency. Jordan is also a top recipient of US military and economic aid, to the tune of about $1.45 billion a year.